For today's adventure, we find ourselves, well, I guess truly in the middle of nowhere at a place called Confusion Hill. I love these little roadside attractions. They are just so much fun and so bizarre. But this one has a little bit of something different that most of these mystery spots don't have. And it's a mystery train ride. You heard it, I said it right, a mystery train ride through the redwood trees, through the mountains. I have no idea why it's called an elbow tree, but it says it's 1,200 years old. I can only hope I look like that when I'm 1,200 years old. It's massive. Let's tilt that up so you can see it. Holy cannoli. I'm loving Northern California. What am I saying? I love all of California. My heart, Southern California, but I love Northern California.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.
And would you look at this? It looks like Confusion Hill is on the California State Point of Historical Interest landmark. And there's a little something here written about it. I'm not going to read it on camera. You can probably pause this video and read it if you so choose. But we got a lot of stuff to cover right now. I absolutely love that they have things hidden in the trees, in the woods, kind of like little ghostly spirits and spooky things. But look at this giant totem pole. Blows my mind. That's cool as heckins. Those bears are wearing pants. Why are those bears wearing pants? I mean, why not?
They're clowns.
They're clown bears. Aha, I knew it. They do have a mountain train ride. It's a mystery train ride, but Jessica is also obsessed with photo opportunities where there's a giant panda bear here that you can climb inside.
At your own risk.
Go ahead, do it. Get up on that bear. And that sounded bizarre, didn't it? Look how cute you are. You loving Northern California?
Boop. I love it.
An announcement just came over the loudspeaker. I think we're going to be doing the mystery train ride first, which I'm kind of excited about. A train ride through the mountains, through the redwood trees? How mysterious can it be? We're about to find out. Well, we got a little bit of confusion here, but I think that is part of the fun. It is, after all, a mystery house, but we know that this way to train and to the Gravity House is this way. Gravity House entrance, straight ahead.
Oh my God, how cute is that?
What'd you see?
Chipolopes are a thing here.
Oh gosh.
So it's like chipmunk. Oh, I used to know what these
And
are.
an antelope?
Antelope, I think.
Let's go take a look at this chipolope before we
Okay.
go any further.
Chipolope.
Chipolope. So,
Look at
oh my
him.
gosh, look at him and his little ears.
Oh, he's got little antlers.
Oh, for the love of Pete. His antlers are down. Oh, that's, all right, that's cute. Chipolope's tail, and it talks all about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this here. If you guys want to, you can pause it and take your time and read it, but we're gonna keep moving on.
Afternoon, welcome to Confusion Hill. This hat is to tell you this is definitely a Mickey Mouse outfit, okay? Couple things you guys need to know. This is a train, okay? Trains can derail. If we derail, it's always a back car. Hi, you guys, you're in the back car, yeah. It ain't like Amtrak. I lift it up, I put it back on. It ain't that big of a deal. It ain't always that car. Occasionally it's this car. Occasionally it's this one. This one derails. See ya. I'm done for the day, okay? I do this for fun. I drive a school bus for a living. Thus a school bus tattoo. Ain't nobody gonna sport a school bus tattoo except a school bus driver for 32 years, all right? Although I retired 2 years ago, I'm not drug tested anymore. Welcome to California, which brings up a good thing. You guys can eat and drink whatever you like, smoke whatever you like down there. Welcome to California, but not on the train. Okay, as good as it smells, no smoking on the train. Okay,
Got it.
I ain't even supposed to. I mean, I didn't. I shouldn't. So much negativity. This place would go up like that. All right, so we don't want any flame. All right. I have a terrible sense of humor, and you're a captive audience. This train ride is not worth what you paid for. I know what you paid for. It ain't worth it. If I were you, I'd go get my money back. Well, I still could. Going once. Even if we derail, you ain't getting your money back. You get an 11-cent postcard. You know, the price of gas is going up. Go eat in our snack bar. You'll get gas for nothing. See the prices? Going, gone. All right. Now you're stuck on the train. One more little tidbit information. This really is a train. Trains derail. Ever hear of Amtrak? Trains derail. If we do derail, I lift it up and I put it back on. It ain't that big of a deal. Of course, you guys got to get off. Okay, I'm not Superman. Okay, now that would be Superman. I'm at least 9 of him. Okay, so I can't lift you. All right, you guys just get off. I lift it up and put it back on. All right. See, I've learned. I've been driving this train for 30 years now. I've learned the more I talk about derailing, the less it does it. So let's derail this sucker. All right.
All right.
You guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. Oh, bud! Wait, I need a beverage. Hold on. I need a beverage. Oh, bud! Bud!
This is awesome.
Oh, bud!
Don't be scared. Here, hold my hand. Oh, man, we're like...
Now, I forgot to ask you guys, have any of you ever been on the train before?
No.
All right. So I will be lying to you the entire train ride, all right?
Oh, man, we're pretty high up there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I get it. It's zigzag.
That is cool.
That's fun.
All right, so now we switch tracks.
Yeah.
Right turn, Clyde. Oh, this is where we may lose the back car. If we do lose the back car, I'll pick you all up on the way back. Give you a lousy bumper sticker, 1 per family, ID required. Right turn, Clyde. Nice when it works. Don't always work. Okay. Here we go.
Is that the tallest redwood?
Uh-oh.
All right.
We've made it so far. No derailment. Speed 100%. Oh, God. I'm having fun playing the bell up there. Oh, no, we're going backwards again.
This is a
Well, by
trip.
now you guys have figured out every time I turn off the train, I say something foolish, okay? So you can just plug your ears. That's a dead giveaway, all right? You probably also noticed these are switches, okay? There's 83 more switches. Would I lie to you? Straight up, I'm a male, yeah. That's what we do. We don't mean to, it's just women ask questions. If we're breathing, we're lying.
This is so trippy going backwards.
Yeah.
And at the speed that we're going. Misery whips. Before chainsaws, people used these misery
Yeah,
whips.
they sure did.
Off to our left, the steam donkey. This really is a mean piece of equipment. What they actually use this thing for, you take it up that mountain, you send this cable out, wrap it around the logs, put logs up the hill. Big question is, how you get this big old piece of equipment up the mountain in the late 1800s? Thing weighs 7 tons. The way they did it, they hooked 12 to 14 pair of oxen, giant cows, to the front of it. stuck logs underneath it. Took the log from the back, moved to the front, caterpillared up the hill. 3 to 5 days to get up a little tiny hill like that. Steam power, wood fueled, 7-ton, bloody nightmare. Then they came up with the gas power yarder, the black one way back there, Skagit double jump, gas power yarder, gas in the forest. Not a good idea, gas explode, right? Finally they came up with Buddha, one of the first diesel power yarders, weighs a third of this and outwork it by at least 4 times. The whole point I'm trying to get to is tell you that things change, right, all the time. It went from steam to gas to diesel to now using helicopters. That's big change. We've had a lot of change right here. Driving this silly train 30 years, we've had a lot of change in 30 years. None of them good. None of them my fault. Okay, we're going to get into it shortly. You were strategically, painstakingly placed in the shade, and I did that. Years of practice. When I started driving the train, there was nothing but shade everywhere. Lots of changes, all bad, all right? I'll tell you a little more about it as we go along. Now, just a little side note. They really did use all those oxen to get up hills for almost 20 years. So someone figured out they never needed the oxen. Send the cable up, pull itself up the hill. Imagine a guy that figured it out in 20 years. I'm just saying, I'm a fat, short, lazy man. I would figure that out 20 minutes. 20 years? Somebody ain't thinking. If somebody's getting paid by the hour, don't rock the boat, okay? I'm just saying, crazy but true, yeah, crazy.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's cool.
First chainsaw was 1910.
Right turn again, Clyde. Nice little work.
Oh, it's so squeaky.
No, I just looked at my clock. It's already past 1. So I better warn you guys. There is a slight possibility we could get stuck going through the smokestack tree. See, for some reason at night, I don't know why, but at night, smokestack tree kind of swells up. Last train ride, I almost got stuck. Been stuck before. I get stuck a stop like that. So hold on, you guys. We're going through.
Hands inside.
Smokestack!
Oh, here we go.
Oh, dang. Oh, man. Oh, not that close. No, it is pretty close, but it ain't that close. The real reason why I stopped here, last year at the end of the year, we get real slow at the end of the year. I do 1 train ride a day. We're talking slow. I got kind of bored last year. I ran home. That'll run nowhere. No, I walked leisurely to my car. I drove home. I went into my Halloween closet. You don't have Halloween? Went into my Halloween closet. I got this great big fake plastic spider. Shoved it up inside there. Told the kids on the next train, don't look up. They looked up. The boss, he lives over there. He comes running down from his house, find out what all the yelling, screaming, crying's all about. Needless to say, the boss said, no more spider. Didn't say nothing about snakes.
Uh-oh.
I already told you I was a male, okay? His name is Harry. Yeah. Obvious reasons. Yeah. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, they're definitely big. It'd be a big hairy spider eating lunch. Yeah. Notice butterflies on the
Oh,
menu.
so cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I mean, why wouldn't there be a giant spider in there?
Oh, look at that.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, pretty cute little spider, really. Aha! I'll drop right at the family group. It's one of the unique characteristics of the redwood, the family group. It's how redwood trees actually grow. See, there was one big giant tree inside there, died in a fire about 100 years ago. When it died in the fire, the roots, since it was in danger, sent up all these little sprouts. Little sprouts turn into redwood trees. That also tells you exactly how big the mama tree was. Exactly that big inside. And over 275 foot tall. Folks, that's a huge tree. What do you do with a tree that size? If you would have cut down the 1950s, instead of it dying in the fire, cut down 1950s, you would have milled it into lumber. You would have built yourself 6 large or a dozen small homes from that tree.
Wow.
That was back then. Remember how things changed, though? Houses have gotten smaller.
Yeah.
You get closer to 24 homes out of a tree that size today. Not that you can afford redwood homes. Cut that tree into toothpicks. Got a lot of toothpicks. Even I can afford a box of toothpicks. Redwood house, not so much. Redwood box, not a chance, no. That was a huge tree, don't get me wrong. 275 foot tall, that big around, huge tree. Not the tallest by far. The California redwood is the tallest living thing on our planet, period. Tallest one known, 371 or 379.1 foot tall. It's over by Oryx, about 80 miles from here. You can't go there, it's on private land. But if you want to see it, it's in the National Geographic, the pretty yellow magazine. You can look it up. I haven't read that magazine since I was 9. Maybe I was 11. I know darn well I was 15. I remember no trees. I remember a couple photos. Off to our left, that's a 1927 Buick LaFrance fire truck. You may wonder why we have all those cartoon characters painted on that fire engine. It's actually a trippy story. I bought that from an old hippie commune. Wait, bought something else. Never mind. Forget I mentioned it.
Oh my gosh!
Well, up to our right inside that hollow log, that's Rocky the Raccoon. Rocky's been here a long time. He's been here 30 years that I know of. He's kind of old, he's kind of ornery, folks. He's got some bad habits, just look at him, you can tell. One of his bad habits is worse than all mine. See, one of his bad habits is, if you do not wave at Rocky when we go by, Rocky will pee on you. You can wave or not wave, 100% up to you. Now I'm gonna back up, give everybody a chance to wave.
Uh-oh.
Of course, you really don't gotta wave. I mean, what are the odds of him peeing on you?
Oh God.
They'd be better than you thought. Yeah, make my day. There ain't nothing better than a wet t-shirt, folks. I can reach everybody. Wavery peace. There we go. Yeah, I'm watching, folks.
We're waving. We're waving.
I'm watching. Oh, okay, good job. Hey, you guys, I'm really into cartoons. I'm covered in cartoons. Anybody ever hear of Elmer Fudd? He's a little short, fat, round guy like me. Carries a shotgun like me. Looking for the wascally wabbit that didn't wave at the rocket.
Oh, somebody got it.
She told me to do it, so I gotta get her too. Yeah, I love my job. Okay. Love my job. Feels pretty good, don't it? Yeah. Well, just like the family group we saw was a unique characteristic of the redwood, so is this. Cut the redwood tree down, it'll grow a panda bear. I mean, it'll grow a new tree. What was I thinking? Right upon its old stump. That's true recycling, folks. Second tree, one stump. Kind of like you and I cut up our arm, growing a whole new leg. Not like that at all, no. Nothing unusual about it either. See, redwood trees grow from the root system like we saw earlier. They grow from the stump. Now, redwood trees have a seed, right? That'd be a redwood cone, a good-sized redwood cone. There's about 20 or 30 seeds in a redwood cone, but it doesn't matter because they don't grow from a seed. Unless you have one very, very special thing. Anybody know? Fire. It takes the heat of a fire to pop open the seed, then they're fertile, yeah. So they don't grow from a seed very often. See, back in the 1960s, and I know because I lived through the 60s, there was a big public campaign where they were going to replenish the redwood forest, right? Because they were doing all the clear cutting back then. Right now, there's a little more laws, all right? So they filled up airplanes with millions and millions of redwood cones, okay? All they did was litter, okay? Because they don't grow from a seed unless you have a fire, all right? So it sounded good on the news, but it did absolutely nothing, yeah. But nothing unusual about that. What's cool about it is growing dead center. I've never seen one dead center. And I got to watch it grow. See, they cut down the tree in 1993. We'll get into that in a minute. That tree didn't grow back until 2000. That tree was dead from 1993 to 2000. Woke up in 2000, said I think I'll grow, and did. Hope I don't do that. I'm gonna hook up a bell just in case. Now if the bell rings, probably shouldn't answer. All right, you guys, it is too dang sunny to stop over here. So I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna see a photo coming up on your left. The photo that you're gonna see was taken right where it is, okay? Then you're gonna see the old train. This is number 2. And then you're gonna see a photo of me driving the train way back in 1990, all right? So, and then I'll stop and I'll tell you what happened. But it's too hot. So this is taken right here. Yeah, right here. Here's the old train. And that would be fat old me. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna get you guys in the shade, all right? All right, that's pretty good. All right. Let me shut this thing down. Well, that was Confusion Hill engine number 1. That was the original engine. It lasted us 40 years, from 1955 till the windstorm in 1995. During that windstorm, we lost 137 trees. One of the trees landing on the train, killing it, which actually is a good thing, but we won't go there. Where we will go, why would you lose 137 trees in a storm? That's a whole lot of trees. This is less than 3 acres. It's 2.67 acres. 137 trees is astronomical. The only time that happens is when 2 years prior to the windstorm, in 1993, the previous owners, catch that? Previous owners? Cut down all the giant redwood trees. Notice all the stumps and sunshine. Virgin forest up here to 1993. If you would have came here in 1992 or before, you almost need a flashlight up here any time of day. I know, I drove the train back then. This used to be a great train ride, it really was. It was short, 8 to 12 minutes. I didn't say a single word. Great train ride. Now it's a 20, 30, 40, if I derail 3 or 4 day train ride. And I talk all bloody day. And it's good at best. So what happened? Some kids inherited the property when their parents passed on. Kids being the way kids are most of the time, they saw great big giant dollar signs everywhere. They tried to sell it, nobody bought it. They had another bright idea, not the brightest idea. Contacted a local logger, a guy by the name of Bruce Willis, not the actor, the logger Bruce Willis, 2 different Willises. Made him one heck of a deal. Said, you cut down all the trees you legally can for us, we'll give you the property. Not a bad deal for the logger, right? He got this whole place for doing what he's doing for $150 an hour, falling trees, right? Well, of course, if you do cut down, as it turns out, they cut down 38 giant redwood trees on 3 acres on top of a mountain. Now, if you do cut down 38 giant trees on top of a mountain, the wind's gonna come. The wind came 2 years later, blew down that 137 trees. That's when the logger got rich, right? He now owned it. He went out and bought himself a portable mill. It took him 1.5 years to mill up all 137 trees. Made nearly 3 times as much money as the kids got for the whole place. Then he sold it, right? 5 years later, the year 2000, to the current owners for somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000 more. Pretty nice neighborhood, okay? Everybody blames the logger. I blame the kids for being foolish enough to give it to the logger to have him cut down the tree and take the heat for it. See, everybody wants to kill him, okay? See, we literally had a train going through a forest, and they cut down the forest. I ain't so bright, I wouldn't have done it, all right? Now, you saw the picture of me, okay? That was way back in 1990. You probably couldn't see, but there's a clown riding on the train. Why there's a clown on the train? Because between 1990 and 1995, we had a petting zoo down where the playground is. And my daughter Stephanie, who was about 6 in that photo, ran the petting zoo as a clown. She is now a 36-year-old clown. She can't stand that photo. I am now a 61-year-old clown. Love every minute of it. different strokes for different folks, all right? So the moral of the whole story is spend the money before you go, preferably on ink. Or leave a living trust. Have it say something like, you gotta live here in paradise forever, right? Or walk away with nothing. This really was a crazy thing to do. It really was, right? Now, what this little guy's doing here, again, I have no idea. It just popped up like the toilets did. So this is what I tell people. Avoid the snack bar. That should be enough, but I'll continue. The chili cheese fry, they look good, they smell good, they even taste good. They will kill you. You got 20 minutes. You explode just like that every time, 20 minutes. Bam. You could set your watch, 20 minutes. Bam, every time. Every time. Look, we got a little baby Bigfoot.
Oh my gosh.
Look at our cutie. Aw. Now, I used to have this whole story I told about the Bigfoot. It boils down to don't ever order nothing from a magazine, not as advertised. You know those x-ray glasses? Those don't work either. I got 150 pair. They do absolutely nothing. Waste of money, all right? So I'm not going to talk about this Bigfoot. What I'm going to talk about is something that happened last year. Last year, we're right in the middle of a pandemic, right? Nobody's hiring. My 16-year-old son, or wait, he was 17. My 17-year-old son, 6'2". I'm 5'5". My wife is 4 foot flat. Where'd he come from? Mailman or something, I don't know. But anyway, he needed a job in the middle of a pandemic. Nobody hiring. So I said, I'll give you a job. I ordered a Bigfoot outfit. 2.5 months it took to get here from Japan, okay? Pretty decent costume for what it was, but we were almost done with the season by the time it got here. Well, $150 for a one-time shot. I didn't know that at the time, I probably wouldn't have done it. But anyway, I got this costume. Again, he's 6'2". He says, okay, I'll be up here, Dad, somewhere. I figured he'd just run around the train or something, right? Well, no, we're almost done with the train ride. We're over there where the tree was cut down. It's growing a new one. Hadn't seen him. I figured he bailed, right? Well, I get over the old train. That's where I normally get out because it's normally not sunny there except right around 1 or 2 o'clock. So it was first train in the morning, so it wasn't sunny. So I jump out of the train. I stand right next to the old train, and I start talking just like I did. And that's when I see behind the train, Bigfoot fingers starting to come up behind the train. And then all of a sudden, all 6'2" of my boy wearing a Bigfoot outfit stands up. This train erupts, okay? They don't know if it's a bear, a Bigfoot, or what. They know something 6'2", big and furry just stood up, okay? So this train erupts. Now my boy, little autistic, doesn't like noise, right? So my boy is now running around little circles, right? And now the train is laughing because Bigfoot is running around in little circles, okay? Now my boy is trying to get away. He's running around a bigger circle. Part of his costume, made in Japan or China, it didn't work too well. Parts of his costume are flying off everywhere. He finally gets away. And by the time we got done laughing over there, bless my boy, he made it behind all these trees. All he had on was BVDs, 1 foot and 1 paw, this one. And he was literally laying on the ground behind that Bigfoot, petting it like it was his baby.
Aww.
That's something I'll never forget, all right? Now, the reason why I share the story, if you know anybody with autism, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just wired a little bit differently, all right? They're beating to a different drum, so give them a break. Up to your far left, that's the South Fork of the Eel River.
Oh, wow.
Have no idea what that means, but it's cool the way I say it. Huh? There's trees down there, a little bit of water. Oh, speaking of water, the Eel River is one of 5 rivers in the world that flow north, uphill. That's true. The Nile is another, the Klamath is another. There's 2 more. Never claimed to be smart. That's what they created the internet for. I look up a lot. Mostly National Geographic. They've got a kid's version, not as good. Off to our right, a truly unique item. That's the only one known to exist in the world. We inherited it. It is a one and only Jolly Green Giant waffle maker. You don't buy that. Would you believe it's the Mike Tyson ear press? No, he likes his raw. No. Make one heck of a grilled cheese if you get all the earwax off it. I told you it got worse. That'd be worse, okay? That'd be worse.
Oh wait, look, we're back to where we were. Sneaky, sneaky.
All right, you guys, I already told you the bad part. The kids cut down 38 giant redwood trees. That's insane, okay? That's the bad part. The good part is they're all growing back. Look around. Of the 38 they cut down, 35 of them are growing back. You don't get one tree, 7, 5, 9, 11, 21. These trees are harvestable right now. They're now over 20 years old. They could be cut down. They're not going to be cut down. The new owners aren't going to be cutting them down, but they could. That means you don't need to cut down the big ones. You can cut down small ones. But let's face it, you don't get over $100,000 for a small one. They'll cut down the big one. I can't let you cut down any of them, unless they're next to my train ride. Kind of hard to explain why they're not here. You can really picture it. 1992, I'm driving the train in a virgin redwood forest. 93, storms and a whole lot of sunshine. Remember, none of these trees you see were here. Interesting train ride. I used to carry 357 for safety. Now I got a water gun. Life is good. Okay. So people love these trees. They cut them down. Not good.
Wait, we're just here. Oh, I'm so turned around.
Well, behind the steam donkey, you're going to see a stump. It's going to say King George. And there's also going to be one named Queen Willie. The guy who built this place, George Hudson. 1949, he put in the gravity house. 55, he put in the train. He named 2 trees. He named one King George for himself and one Queen Willie for his wife, Mom and Dad. The kids literally cut down trees named Mom and Dad for money. And those are 2 of the 3 that aren't growing back. Maybe those are the trees they shouldn't have cut down. I didn't inherit property, folks. I inherited 2 sets of bills, all right? If I would inherit this place, I've given a lot of thought in 30 years. I would have fallen trees, you bet. I would have fallen 2 of them right away. Nobody know where. You wouldn't be able to tell. Those 2 trees, 1993, 75 grand. I would have bought a 7-Eleven back then, hire somebody to run it, then hire some schmuck to run the train. Then I'm getting 2 checks every month. Then if I need a new house in 2021, I'd fall a tree. 1 tree. Have enough change left over for a nice used Corvette, okay? I sold my Corvette 20 years ago. I've regretted it ever since. Yeah. Shouldn't have done. So there's King George, Daddy, Queen Willie.
Oh, there's the Queen.
Octopus tree.
Off to our right, the Octomom tree. Her, she got a new job. I mean the octopus tree. We used to call it the octopus tree because it had 8 big roots. That's not why I stopped here. I stopped here to tell you that 8 foot is how deep the root of the redwood tree will go. These trees grow to be over 370 foot tall, well over 1 million pounds, and this is normal for the root, folks. How they stay in the ground with such a shallow root? The way they do it, the roots go out a great distance, nearly 200 foot out. Then they literally hold hands with each other. They're literally holding themselves in the ground.
So
It requires a whole family network for one redwood tree to stand up. That's all their Achilles heel, right? They cut down all the big ones, right? The wind came, they're all entwined. See, we lost them all. Crazy thing to do, really was. Now, when a 1 million pound tree like this one does fall, you don't hear it at all. You're too busy running. You got seconds to get 300 foot away. You do feel it, literally an earthquake when it lands.
And we switch and go back. I like going backwards.
Well, if today had actually been a Saturday, the boss would be standing right there shooting at you.
Yeah.
Well, I hate Saturday. I say I hate the boss? No, I didn't say that. No, I said I hate Saturdays. I've hated Saturdays since I was 2. Hate cartoons and old movies, too. Now, this is the way this whole thing went. We actually don't do it anymore. On Saturday, well, let me back up. George Hudson built the place. His kids inherited it, gave it to the logger. Logger sold it to the Campbell brothers in 2000, and that's who owns it today. Well, when Doug Campbell bought this place, he said, we're going to start holding up the train. I said, don't do that. We're going to start holding up the train. So he proceeded to give me a great big foot locker, sort of like an old Western box, right? And he would stand up there with the 357 and 45 black powder, but just as loud, shooting flames about 3 foot, right? So I'd warn everybody. He said, don't tell anybody. I warn everybody 4 times on Saturday. This train's going to get held up. The last time I tell him was at that last switch. So we back on up, and that's when he steps out from behind a tree, full Western attire. Bang, 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 bang. Engineer, stand and deliver. That means throw out the box. Right now, people are scared to death, okay, even though I warned them over and over. So I throw the chest out right here on this platform, and that's when I drive away. And that's when the boss rolls down the hill, because he'd be up there drinking all day long. He'd roll down the hill, grab his shotgun, start shooting the lock out the box. I hated Saturday. Not because I hate gunshots. I was afraid somebody's going to shoot him, right? Bang, right? People carry guns, okay? I would have shot him in a heartbeat, all right? He passed away about 3 years ago, so we don't do it anymore. All right, you guys, this actually is a true story. Not say everything I told you was a load of garbage or nothing, but this is a true story. My 2 youngest children, Tierra, 19, Simon, Bigfoot, 17. They were riding the first train ride of the year. They ride the first and last one every year. They were riding the first one a couple of years ago. I'm feeling all giddy. It's the first day of the season. I said, why don't you guys name these 2 deerhead? They were quick. Lola and Coco. Said, now that we named them, you got to tell every passenger for the rest of the year what their names are. Don't ever promise your kids nothing. Say maybe, we'll see, possibly. I was foolish enough to say yes. I'm a man of my word, all right? We're open 2.5 months a year, and I did 5,000 people on this train that year. Told every last one of them, that's Lola and Coco, Lola and Coco, Lola and Coco. No matter how busy I was, Lola and Coco, Lola and Coco. Then they rode the last train, sitting right here. We back on up and said, say hello to your little friend. What did we name them? They had no idea. Over 5,000 people knew that Lola and Coco. Let me just say this. Lola and Coco is going to be in your head, okay? You're going to have nightmares of Lola and Coco.
Cute.
Oh, by the way, it's needless to say my boy never put back on that costume, so there's part of it right there.
It's the Sasquatch head.
One-shot deal.
That's hilarious.
All right, you guys, your torture is almost over. The train ride's just about done at last. I have one last worthless piece of information for you. You might have noticed the totem pole out in the parking lot. Took me 3 months to carve that in the dead of winter, standing on a pogo stick. Wasn't me, no. Please don't visualize me on a pogo stick. You won't sleep for a month, okay? I had nothing to do with it. But the guy who carved it for his wife. That's why the teddy bears are standing on building blocks. The blocks say BW plus JW. Remember Bruce Willis, the logger? Chainsaw carver. Now you notice every time I said Bruce Willis, I say the logger. There's a reason for that. See, anybody ever know that show, the show Friends? Anybody hear that? It's an old show. Well, Joey from Friends, he comes up here, stays locally, rides a train almost every year. Well, one year he's riding the train, and I talk about how Bruce Willis cut down all the trees. We get a call from the Bruce Willis. What do you mean I'm cutting down redwood trees? So needless to say, I specify Bruce Willis, the logger, not the actor. And just so you know, Joey is as mellow as he is on the show. Yeah, really cool dude. Yeah. He's got a daughter that rides the train too.
You guys are probably getting sick and tired of me pointing the camera up and going down trees, but I just can't help myself. These things are just insanely massive. It's blowing me away. These two side by side, they call them the Twin Towers. Go ahead, baby, go walk up there. Let's see what it looks like in comparison to a human being. Or shall I say a spooky goddess. You can turn around.
It's like fibrous.
It's what?
It's like fibers. It's like part of the bark, but it's like fibers.
Oh yeah.
The tree has hair.
That is kind of cool.
That's interesting. I mean, it's just like splintered wood or something, but it's so soft it feels like hair.
There is a mystery hole or mystery house just outside of Santa Cruz. It seems like it's a lot bigger than this. But to be fair, the one that's outside of Santa Cruz does not have a train ride that's 45 minutes long. Oh wow, this is cool. All right, I'm getting a little woozy. Getting a little woozy here. Rain drains north.
Oh, yeah, that's very cool.
Off high side of building. Roofing was put on backwards because of unusual flow.
Very cold water. My equilibrium.
Interesting. You got this? Make sure you hold on to something. So let's see. For the best effect, hold camera at floor angle. All right, so let's go ahead and do this.
You can walk on the wall. Gravity holds you to the chair. Try getting up without using arms.
All right.
Oh, so there's exhibits. Okay.
This thing's a little bass-ackwards. You gonna sit in the chair? Go for it. It says,
yeah, it's like sitting backwards on something. I won't be able to get
Oops.
up without using my arms.
let's see what it says here. Look through here. Gravity holds you to chair. Try getting up without using arms.
No way.
You can walk on the wall. Come over this way. You feeling all right?
I'm really dizzy.
It's a little woozy for sure. Can you do it? You're not supposed to use your arms. You could do it, baby
I
girl.
already said I couldn't.
You gave it a go, though. That's all that's important. Just so you guys know, the camera is completely level on the floor. The camera's level, but obviously I'm not. They have different exhibits in here. You saw Jessica do the chair that you can't get out of if you're holding on without using your arms. This one here was this Exhibit 6. When hanging from your overhead bar, your feet are pulled far to the north. I'm straight. It's kind of creepy looking. I'm too tall. Yeah, just like that. I'm getting a little woozy. Roll bar. Yeah, this is bizarre. Change the camera angle a little bit. I still am level. There's a level platform right where I'm standing, as you can see. And doing so,
It's just easier to come back the other way.
this is very trippy to watch.
Yeah.
So let's see here. We missed this right from the get-go. House was built with slope of hill, so the natural effect would not be disturbed by excavation or undue space under house. Go ahead and get back on there. Oh, that's trippy. All right, there's more exhibits over here. Oh, all right, you got to kind of hold on to something. All right.
It's supposed to be a golf ball.
Does somebody take the golf ball? Exhibit number 7. We're going out of order here. Person standing in corner is much taller by comparison, yet gravitation shows that person in corner is standing in lower level. Ball rolls toward corner.
Yeah, so there was a ball that went, it's all the way down there.
All right, I'm trying to get up there.
It's all right.
So the ball's over there. Roll ball down here. Exhibit 11. Let's see. Weight is pulled. Oh, I'm sorry. Exhibit number 8. Weight is pulled. I can't read. Far off to the north. Feel how much easier weight moves north than to the south. Why do these things read like stereo instructions? Oh my God. Oh, geez, that's heavy. Oh, there's a whole bunch of graffiti in here too. I'm gonna stand over here in the corner and look up. Whoa, okay, I'm falling backwards. It's a little trippy, that's for sure. A little trippy. Now, if I could be completely honest with you, the Gravity Hill, the Mystery Hill, the mystery house we just walked through, not really worth it. The train, however, that was cool. Now the train, I think was what, $10, and the mystery house, which is basically just one room, is $5. And to be honest, I've seen better when it comes to the house. Just being 100% honest with you. I feel like they could have elaborated on it more. If you are coming here though, and you want to skip the house, completely understood, it's $5, it's $5. The real treat, the real money is the train ride. Sadly, there's a whole bunch of graffiti written throughout the entire house, which, I mean, it is what it is. People are going to do what they do, but it seems like they just kind of left it to do its thing. Like it could have been more taken care of. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. I wouldn't do the house again. I'd do the train again.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.